What was that?
Splendor!
Oh, nice.
The most powerful sword.
Oh.
So here we go.
Oh, it is. It's Splendor with an exclamation mark.
This is going to be the 3 forms of Rubas.
Okay, cool. All right, take us home. Oh, it's like the centipede.
They're not terribly difficult.
Really? Really? Oh my god, they're adorable. Can you fall off?
Oh boy.
No.
Oh.
There's none of that, like, weird design on the edge. You're stuck in here until
okay.
one of you dies.
Yeah.
Ow.
Well, that didn't
42.
actually. That didn't. That's not that bad.
Oh, and if one dies, they both die. That's...
Oh, Jesus.
That!
Wow, that does a lot of damage. Health! Health! Oh,
Yeah, I see it.
Oh my god, you're dead.
You might want to move, like...
Holy Hannah!
I've never beaten this game, I won't lie to you. This is the first time I've ever beaten this game in my life.
What are those things doing?
It's the bells.
Oh.
They're falling and melting. Because he does so much damage, and he, like, pins you. There's nothing you can do.
No,
Oh,
you
you
just
couldn't
walk
move out
right
of
into
that?
it. And that's where it sets you.
Yeah.
So you just literally have to outshoot him.
Just brute force him like I just did.
Oh, wow.
Hence, granted, if we had the wide shot, we still would have been hitting him just as much.
The hard and bitter battle had finally reached its end. Staring tiredly at Rubas' destroyed castle, Prince Meyer felt that his victory had fulfilled the promise of peace over the kingdom. His heart suddenly filled with a wondrous feeling. Looking up towards heaven, he heard a voice from far above, the same one that he had heard earlier by the lake. My name is Khan! Prince Meyer, you have done a great deed in defeating the devil of darkness. This brings an end to the age of stone and copper. Peace will prosper in the kingdom. At once, the prince returned to give the message of the victory to the king. The following day, he succeeded to the throne, being praised as the king of light by the people. The peace and prosperity of the kingdom continued for about 1,000 years until the coming of the Iron Age and the revival of the devil of darkness. Wait, what?
I know, right? It almost feels like there should be, like, a sequel to this.
There was probably a plan.
Maybe
at
they
some
meant
point.
to have a sequel to
That would
it.
have been kind of cool, actually. I wouldn't have minded a sequel, to be honest.
Is that,
I wouldn't have
is that
either.
your kid there?
No, that's you.
That's you,
No,
the
you.
prince.
He succeeded to the throne, and
That was the old king, that's you,
peace
becoming
will prosper in the future.
for 1,000 years. Until the Age of Iron and the resurrection of Rubas.
Boom, baby!
That's
Deadly
nice.
towers in the bank.
And you took my strategy. You
What?
brute forced it.
I had no choice.
Damn right.
So that was 45 minutes.
It was half the time that you expected it to be, actually. That
Yeah.
was I'm impressed with us.
So our total time, 4.5 hours.
That's not bad.
Not bad at
Because, I
all.
mean, like, 3 hours and a half was literally just grinding.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get the equipment.
Our first session was 3.75 hours, and this was 45 minutes.
Very nice.
Yes. So there you go.
You know,
Fucking did it.
You know, that's probably why this game was not part of the Dragon Slayer series, is
Why is
because of, like, Rubas, like, it was a tale unto itself.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, this part of it was a tale unto itself.
Maybe. I could
But
see
1,000 years in the future, there's another tale to tell.
That's true. Yeah, why would they do that, though? Why would they put, like, that ultimate...
Sequel bait, bro!
No, but, like... It's, yeah, maybe they did, but it's like, at the end of the game, you want to know, like, yup, I brought peace and prosperity to my land for another 1,000
Fuck.
years.
Hey!
That song is annoying.
Yeah,
I
it's not
brought
great.
peace and prosperity to my land for another 1,000 years until the resurrection of Rubas. Like, what? Why?
You're victorious. The story is over. No, it's not!
You just told me it wasn't.
See you next time.
That's not what they said. They said, "See you next time!" Exclamation mark.
86? This was December of 86. Not bad.
This game in the United States came out in '87, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can only find one date for it.
Hold on.
Hang on.
Oh, I don't have my phone. Yeah. Gavin,
Come on,
look it up.
While we jam out. Alright. Well, and that's pretty much just that end screen.
December 15th, 1986, and then September 1987.
Okay, yeah.
September of
So it was
87 in
just-
the United States. Yeah.
All right, that's just gonna loop the music. All right.
Yep,
well, there you go.
100%.
So there we go. Deadly Towers.
Deadly Towers
in the bank.
In the bank.
Wow, what a journey.
How did it feel? Because you've played this game as a kid, you've never beaten it before.
No, I've never fought Rubas with potions.
Oh, you never had potions before, Adam?
Because like when I was a kid, once I'd get through all the towers and die, that stretch back to the beginning always felt so much longer. I always just died and started over. Then I grinded against those 2 fires to get my health maxed out, and then climbed up to Rubas.
So wait a minute, though.
And then did you see how much Rubas was taken off?
Yeah. So wait a minute, though. If we were to... Because we normally would have been in that dungeon to, like get money and get potions and stuff, but then we always used the scroll to get to basically to where all the dungeons were.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take you back there, would it?
No, because the scroll's not going to be there this time. Because like I said, that
as
we got the bells,
what you're saying, we would have to navigate out of that dungeon.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's why, like, this game, we played such a weird, bastardized version of this.
Yeah.
Because, like, I knew what to do.
I feel like this is the way you needed to play this game. Otherwise, it would have just been too much of an undertaking.
Yeah, we would have had to painstakingly map out those dungeons.
Oh my god.
And which, by the way, without them, I looked up the maps to those dungeons.
Oh, that's
and they
impossible.
are ridiculous.
They are you're talking like 200 screens.
That's
for
impossible.
those fucking dungeons.
Per dungeon, too.
It's ridiculous.
And like the design of them is just absurd. There's no
each
way.
one of the dungeons, though.
They're a game unto themselves.
No, but
Pretty much.
But what I was gonna say though is that each of those dungeons, is it a unique dungeon or is it a different just section of the map?
They are all unique.
Oh my god.
That's want to say
that is insane.
A couple of the entrances to the dungeons will put you in the same one, but a different part of it.
Okay.
It's hard to tell.
Oh my god.
The dungeons are the worst part of the game.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yes.
I mean, even if you have the equipment to navigate, okay, you're not taking that much damage, it's fine, but you are literally going painstakingly through every single area to find out where the hidden exit is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
It's a nightmare.
There were 10 dungeon maps.
Oh my god.
And yeah,
Wow.
they are ridiculous.
They're enormous. They're massive. Like they made Swords and Serpents maps look like a joke.
Yeah.
They made Faria dungeons look like a joke. That's the only thing I'll give the dungeons.
They
in this
made
one.
the Legacy of the Wizard map look like a joke.
That's the one thing I will say. At least the dungeons in this game aren't like upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah.
It's all just one flat plane.
Yeah.
So it's not entirely hard to navigate, but it's just. I would say.
It is.
If you end up in a dungeon.
It is if they loop though.
Right. That part I don't know.
I don't know if the walls
if they loop
just
together.
loops.
Yeah.
Like if you go far enough to the left, if it'll just loop you out where you're starting from the right and then making your way.
Yeah, I believe they only
it-
certain ones loop around. So this one would loop to that.
Yeah, see, but that's
Wow.
still to me would be that
is ridiculous.
that's difficult.
Yeah, and
because then how
bonkers.
as a kid do you map?
That's Dungeon 10, which according
do
to
you
the
map-
notes here doesn't open up
Yeah.
until after you've gotten all the bells, which means they throw another hole somewhere in the map that you can
Yeah.
fall into.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying though is how do you navigate that? How do you map that out as a kid when you think that
Endless
you're going up
corridors.
and up and up and you're not. You're just basically looping.
I suppose just memory,
Knowing what the enemy set was in that room.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be the only tip off would be like, hey, there's 4 dragons in here. I remember running across a room with 4 dragons before. Hey, this has 2 bats. I remember 2 bats after 4 dragons. Like, oh, that's weird. So
Yeah.
maybe you would kind of get the hint. But
Maybe.
as a kid, I don't think I would have had
Oh,
the
no.
deductive reasoning to figure that out.
No, I know for a
It would
fact I
have.
wouldn't have.
Though falling into those probably would have killed playing the game for
Yeah.
me.
Well, that's where I think I spent 60% of my time as a kid playing through was the dungeons. Mm-hmm. Which I suppose we'll start diving into the difficulty of the game. And you had kind of mentioned it before. It's hard.
It almost has 2 difficulties.
Yeah, it's hard to formulate
Yeah.
a difficulty because it's like once you get that hyper equipment, the game completely takes a left turn into Easyville.
Mm-hmm. Except I would almost say, like, the boss, it brings back that difficulty because you literally need those potions because you're ambushed. You get hit the moment that you start on that third boss, which then ultimately stuns you. And he's already got things that are circling around you, so it's not like you can just navigate your way out of there to get into one of the corners to then start shooting at him.
Yeah.
Because then he'll follow you. Even if you get out of there, he'll follow you.
Yeah.
So it's like you literally have to brute force him.
Yeah.
In order to beat him.
Yeah.
And if you just can't push that button fast enough, then you're not beating him.
That's why I'm surprised I actually beat him. I won't lie, because I think I was only down to like 2 more hits, and then I would have been dead.
You were down to, I think you were in the
99.
70s.
He had 99 health at the
99 health, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you could have only have been hit twice or 3 more times, and yeah, that would have been it.
Wow, and he had a lot of life.
He did.
That was a lot of life.
And that was a strong sword that we had, too. It took that many hits with that sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to say, if you get Splendor and die and come back, I don't think you keep Splendor.
Which, no, because it was in the area where it's a consumable item.
Yeah, well, I mean...
You'll get it right there. Yeah, but you'll get it right at right before the bosses and stuff.
But I mean, like, at most of the other equipment in the game, like, once you've equipped it, you have it.
But talk about...
I don't know if you keep Splendor outside of that dungeon.
Oh, gotcha.
I kind of wished I would have got a password after we burned all the bells, because I wanted to see what that shop had just outside the opening area. You know, where you got, like, the helmet at the beginning of the game.
Right, yeah.
I want to see if there was potions and stuff there, but I'm not entirely positive.
And talk about lulling you into a false sense of security, because literally with that first form, and I'm like, really? This is the boss? Like, they're gonna do this to us? Like,
I thought they were just gonna recycle some of, like, the bosses you already beat.
And then even the second one was, like...
The twin heads?
Yeah, not that much difficult. Like, even though, like, they kind of have a random pattern, it's pretty easy to get out of their way because of how slow they move.
And they hit pretty hard.
They do,
about 30.
but you still had some time to kind of predict where they were going. But then that third boss, it's like, oh my god, now, okay, this was just a taste. Now we're going to crank it up to 11. Like, holy crap, where did that come from?
I think if you had, like, because one of the crystals you can get gives you, like, a barrier that rotates around you for extra damage.
Okay.
I think if you had something like that as well.
Maybe that, yeah.
That's more damage you're chipping off of them as you're swinging. And I want to say it might even stun lock them to a point. I'm not entirely positive.
Oh, that might make it a lot easier.
It might make it a lot easier, but like I said, I don't know where you would get that crystal.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to kind of see if that shop had anything.
Oh, sure.
I'm sure we could look up a password and figure out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so... Like I said, we played a very strange version of this game because we played it, with my knowledge as a kid, as a shortcut for the orange scroll into the mountain instead of wandering around the dungeons. So if we were playing this game fresh, right, and we got the bells, and then all of a sudden the world shuffles, right, when we didn't know that it would have shuffled. That's kind of how we have to look at it.
What do you mean that the world shuffles?
How, like, all the shops changed. Some of the entrances to the dungeons changed.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. The whole world changes based on how many bells. Remember when the difficulties peaked?
Yeah,
that's when the world shuffled.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
The environments don't, but, like, the holes into dungeons, the shops all carry different stuff. It's not the same layout you remember. That's kind of how we have to look at it. And in that sense, like,
I'm feeling pretty confident about my score.
Yeah. I
think you know where I'm sticking.
Yeah, I'm going about 8. Maybe a 9.
See, and I would push this game to a 9.
Yeah?
Because, I mean, even though you still knew parts of it, you were still scared to death to end up in a dungeon.
Yes, I was.
And with the world shuffling, where you thought that you knew where the dungeons were, well, guess what? They're shuffling. So you could mistakenly end up in a dungeon.
Yeah.
You don't know where you have to go for potions. The fact that it is as difficult as it is right out of the starting gate because of how weak you are, that 100% makes me, like, it's justified in that.
It is brutal.
You start getting to a point to where you're like, okay, maybe this game is actually a joke because of all the equipment you get. But even though you have all that equipment, Rubas is still difficult at the very last form. So you need that stuff, but he still is able to kill you super fast.
Yeah.
Well, and it was super cheap how he was just on you.
Yes.
Like, he was just like, magnetically, I'm there.
And I would say, just based off of that, I would be sticking at a 9. But the fact that the dungeons are as extensive as they are,
Yeah.
this game's difficulty it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
9. The more you talk about, yeah, it's a solid 9.
I can't believe that they would have, but see, and that's the thing, and I think that this might be where we start talking about the fun, is that I feel like they laid the groundwork for this game to be very fun to explore.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't really consider past the exploration. If you wanted to play on to beat this game, they did a piss poor job of it.
Yeah. I mean, all your towers are right there in that one hub. You know what I mean? Like, if they had made it to where you had to, like, Jesus, this game would have been a 10.
If they turned it into a Zelda game where you had to find where the dungeons are, or the towers are for your, to burn the bell, or to find the bells.
Or even made it to where some of the tower entrances are in the dungeons.
Oh,
This game would have been a 10.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Probably would have been a 12 at that point.
But it is... It's a solid 9, for sure. For sure, it's a solid 9.
I think that there are points where the difficulty, it really does ebb and flow. But overall, if you are trying to play this game to actually complete it, to beat it, it's tough. It is definitely, I would say it's a 9.
I mean, like we said...
Even with the password feature.
That first session was almost 4 hours, and that was just trying to get the hyper items.
That was just trying to get the goodies.
Yeah, and like I don't remember if I mentioned it off in the fast forwards or not, but like the way we would have played it is we would have probably ended up exploring the dungeons, finding some of the other shops to get like the other gauntlets before the hyper ones. So our shot would have been a little bit faster.
Yeah.
We would have found like I found the shield and stuff, but we would have found armor.
Yeah.
There's another thing of armor you can get. Like we would have found stuff.
Probably.
To make us more formidable.
But
I'll adjust your phrasing. We could have found stuff.
But if we would have looked around for those shops and navigated in those dungeons, how much longer do you think it would have taken us to play this game?
This probably easily would have doubled in time.
This would have been like an RPG. This would have been like 20 hours, maybe.
We would have started mapping out the dungeons like we would have in Faria.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been the only... And not only that, but every hole that we fell into would have been a different dungeon. So it's like... Yeah, it's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
This game is insanity.
Yeah. I'm sticking with that 9 because I think that there are areas, there's points of this game where it's not as difficult as you would think, but I think overall, as a package, no, it's definitely a 9.
Your casual gamer is not going to pick this up.
No.
This game I equate to a Dragon Slayer
That's
game.
the thing.
Like Legacy of the Wizard.
That's the thing. A casual player can pick this game up, they could probably have a good time with it. But if you are looking to complete a game, to beat a game, this ain't gonna be the one.
No.
This ain't gonna be it.
No.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you probably wouldn't have even known what the bells are. Like in Legacy of the Wizard, I played it as a kid and never knew there were crowns.
Yeah.
Except for the crown icon, I would have been like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have even thought twice about it. I never found one.
No, I never found one as a kid either.
Yeah, I think that this game would have fallen kind of into that same trap, where I would have magically fallen into a dungeon and spent endless hours in it.
Oh, Broderbund, you had a very distinct style of games that you liked.
But,
oh my god.
So, I mean, we're kind of already dipping into it, so it's a solid 9 for difficulty.
Yeah.
What do you give the game for fun? Like you had mentioned, it's got solid framework. Execution is another story. I mean, this is early in the Nintendo life cycle, too. Like, this is a very early entry. So it's... I am gonna... So, I will start, see if you echo my sentiment, or if maybe we are on two different planes here. Okay.
I liked this game. There were points of this game I genuinely liked. I enjoyed... even at points, I enjoyed the grind.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, you felt like you felt accomplished. You felt proud when you finally got that, like, one of those gold items, like the gold helm.
When I got that
or the Dragon Slayer, or you get the gold armor, and it's like you feel like you are accomplishing stuff. This game is, it's fun, but there are some things that really draw it back. If I had to put a fun on this game, I would say it's around middle of the road, but it's below that middle of the road. I am leaning towards a 4.
I 100% agree with
because
you.
I believe that this game, it could have been something special.
Yeah.
But damn it, if they didn't put some flaws in there, that really brought that score down.
I was thinking exactly the same. It's like middle of the road, maybe inching under.
But I can't say it's middle of the road just because of some of those flaws that they have. So it's but I'm
going to agree with the
But
4.
you do have to give it its time. You have to give it points where points are deserved. It could have been so great.
Yeah.
And like, it's weird because, like, to me, it seems like the, I guess, overworld, or whatever you want to call it, seems like it was really well thought out. And then the dungeons were added as we need more game.
Maybe.
Because it's not big enough or something. Someone was just like, well, it's not long enough. It's not hard enough. So let's do this absurd stuff.
And maybe that's just the way that Broderbund thought, is that, like, well, we can have a, like, the screen can be 16 by 16, so we have to do every single one of it. No. If you would have made these dungeons literally like a 4x5 or a 4x4, yeah, it may seem small, but to a gamer who has never experienced this before, that's the perfect size for a dungeon.
Well,
like a Zelda dungeon.
Yes.
Well, and it's not just that, but like there didn't seem to be like any rhyme or reason to like how the dungeon entrances happened. There's nothing to mark them.
No.
Exactly.
There's nothing to like even hint that this is a potential for something to go wrong.
If they had done, like, even Legend of Zelda, sure, there were hidden things, like hidden things in the walls that you could blow up, but there was a door.
But you had to blow it up, or you had to use the candle to burn your way to it.
And then
you didn't just fall into it.
Right.
Actually, though,
except for a couple things.
Zelda 2 did that.
Yes, it did.
But they were far and few between.
Yeah.
You specifically had to find a specific point where you would have fallen into that, where that's where you found, like, the area where you needed the ferry to fly over it. This, it's like you're literally just in the overworld. It's like, oh, yep, you fell into a dungeon.
They needed something to delineate that there's something there.
Yeah.
A manhole. I don't care. A manhole with a ladder in it.
To be honest,
something
the
to show you
square
that
could have just been a different color.
If you are feeling like you want to go into it, it's my choice. I see the symbol here. All right, yeah, I'm going to go into it to see what's in there.
Yeah.
Don't just drop me in there where I've been making all this progress, only to lose that progress because I fell into a dungeon and I can't get my way out.
Yes. Especially with the dungeons as overly sprawling as they are.
Yeah.
It's like that felt like one of the biggest oversights of this game. Even as a kid, I remember thinking, this is stupid. Why can I not see these? Even Legend of Zelda had tells to where things were.
Yeah.
Like, this needed that. A staircase,
and even
something.
Well, and even the fact, too, that the... not even just looking at that, but one of the bad designs was the knockback. And the... And what is it? Like, you're taking... There's no...
Temporary invincibility.
Temporary invincibility. God, thank you. There's no temporary invincibility. You're literally taking a hit after hit after hit, but you are stun locked for some of the time. So, like, and as you found out in a room full of bats, you take a hit while you are stunned like that, you can't even hit select to use something.
Right. And that's on the fact that enemies are so random in their movement.
Yeah.
It's
worse than the Dark Nuts from Zelda.
Yeah.
And they were terrible.
Yeah.
Especially in Zelda 2.
That's exactly. Like, the knockback is one of the biggest things that I hated as a kid, especially getting knocked back and fell off the cliff.
Yeah.
That's why I was pissed scared I was going to fall off a cliff. And
just knockback in games I hate in general.
Yeah.
because it felt like there was no rhyme or reason to which direction you ended up going.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it
Or-
wasn't knock back, it was like knock to the side or whatever. Like, it just didn't make any sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
or you have or other NES games like Ninja Gaiden, like it's the distance you got knocked back was just absurd.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, 100%.
At least in this one, you can still shoot while you're getting hurt.
yeah.
That was a big... If it had been where, like, you couldn't even shoot while you're hurt,
Oh, yeah.
this game
Oh,
would have been
yeah.
impossible.
Oh, yeah. No, it would have been bad.
Rubas would have been impossible.
Probably would have given it a 2 for fun. maybe even a 1 at that point.
Yeah.
If that's, if they didn't have that.
But, like,
But no, I think
there's a lot of good things about it,
There
too.
is.
Like,
there is.
I'm always a sucker as a kid for games with hit points. I mean, I like
Levels,
that a lot. I like
permanent
that-
upgrades.
permanent upgrades, the equipment system. I think there's a lot redeeming it as well. Like, the game is genuinely fun to explore.
There's a lot to like in this game.
There is.
I think this game gets an unfair bad rap. Because, yes, it is difficult, and there are aspects of the game that are very unfair, but there's a lot to like about this game, too.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you grew up liking Legend of Zelda and that sense of exploration. I mean, this game has a lot to offer. I mean, you could spend, God, like you said, we could have easily doubled our time
Oh, yeah.
if we had actually gone through it, like, with the dungeons and
the way
and just
that it was
figuring things
intended.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we had come into this game fresh. Like, there's so much this game can offer. There's a wealth of items that we didn't even see.
Yeah.
The crystals. There's like the necklaces that stun all the enemies on the screen. There was ways we could have done those hyper rooms and parallel zones to make it a lot easier. If we had that necklace that froze all the enemies,
Yeah.
could have walked in there, used it, and I could have killed shit before it came back to life, or grabbed the item and left. Like, we could have easily done it, but we would have had to find the item.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot to like about it, but also, that's a dislike.
Yep. Yep.
So
Exactly.
some of the hate it gets is justified.
Yeah.
The music for the towers I loved, especially just getting to the tower. Well, I should say the ascent to the tower.
Yeah,
not-
the ascent
Yeah.
music, yes, because the tower was always the same.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, that had the graphics actually aren't bad. There's a lot of different enemies you fight.
for 87, it's not bad.
No,
It's actually pretty good.
I genuinely still enjoy this game even now. I didn't think I would, but
Hence why I gave it the 4. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's a game that I could see. Like I said to you, I don't know if we were in fast forward. I could see getting all of the the stuff that we got, where you got all the equipment, you got the password, and then it's like I would have literally, even if I beat this game, I would have come back to it with that password, and it's like, okay, I can just start, this is the start of the game for me, is now I have to get to the 7 bells. I don't have to worry about trying to get the items and stuff.
which
So,
even in Nintendo Power gave you a password to max out all of your equipment.
yeah.
It was, what was it? You start a game, you die, and you change the first 2 letters to like E and Z or E and N or something.
Yes. E and
I
F.
think.
EF or FE.
And,
Yes.
and you just start with all the max equipment.
Yeah.
Which I would like to try that actually once we're
Yeah.
done here. But like, that was a Nintendo Power, so I mean, you could have.
Do you know what's funny, though? And I do have to give Broderbund credit. We tried different passwords in this game. We didn't get a single invalid password.
That's true.
Although I have to correct one thing. Broderbund was only a publisher.
Yes, they were.
It was-
but
Lenar and Tamtex, which is Irem.
I'm pretty sure though that with Legacy of the Wizard, Broderbund was the publisher as well too. They weren't the designer of it. It was
Right.
Falcom and FCI.
Maybe.
But either way, any game that Broderbund had their
Their name
symbol on,
Yeah, it was just-
had really piss poor passwords.
Yeah.
Because wasn't Guardian Legend, was that just Irem, or was that Broderbund as well?
That was, I think that was just Irem.
Yeah, that could have been. But I mean, that one was
Guardian.
another one where the passwords were complicated.
Hold on. Let me see. Nope, Broderbund.
Oh, Broderbund.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is
yeah.
Broderbund. Okay. Did that have funky passwords?
Oh yeah.
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 But this one, I think we put in several passwords and none of them got kicked back. So, I mean,
The only thing that sucks about the passwords when you're on that password screen and you accidentally hit a directional,
Yeah.
it fucks your entire password.
sure does. Yeah.
We encountered that. So it's like you almost have to write it down. But the problem
Yeah.
is, too, you have a time limit to how long it takes you to write that password down.
We never seemed to hit it, though. We never had that issue.
Yeah, we did once.
I think we were going to take a picture of it, and then it went on to the next screen. So we just
said,
we'll catch the next one.
Yeah, so that's a 9 for difficulty. Do you have anything else to say about it as far as fun goes?
No, I think we covered everything with the difficulty and the fun.
4 for fun. Paul, what did you pay for Deadly Towers?
So I do not recall the exact amount I paid, but I do remember Deadly Towers is one of the ones that I got when I would buy my Nintendo games from GameStop. When they were still selling Nintendo games. So I can guarantee you, whatever I paid, it was between 99 cents and $1.29.
Sick.
I'm pretty sure I paid $1.29 for this game.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Mm-hmm. So as of this video on PriceCharting.com, Deadly Towers goes for $10.98. $11.
It's actually pretty
not
expensive.
bad.
Well, I mean,
Not bad.
it's more than I would have expected it to go for.
Do you feel $11 is worth it?
I think for the substance of the game you get, it's definitely
inclined
worth
to
it. You may not like it, but you get your bang for your buck. You'll get your challenge.
Yeah.
You'll get your fun exploration. A casual gamer can pick it up. Don't expect a casual gamer to beat it, but you can pick it up and play it and explore.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
So I would say, it's definitely worth it.
I mean, most Broderbund titles you can't go wrong.
To be quite, I was just thinking that. I'm like, you know what? Broderbund does not get the credit that it should. Yes, a lot of their games are difficult, but damn it, if you didn't get a really good game based off of that company.
And I think all the gripes we have of this game aside, I think you would definitely get your money's worth.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Even
100%.
if you spend the time charting the dungeons, if that's your thing, because I know there are some people that just genuinely love charting.
They love the dungeon. Yeah, they
Yeah.
love the dungeon crawlers. They love mapping out stuff, and this game is waiting for you to map it out.
Yeah. Vanderhoff, I know you love that shit. Give it a shot. So there you guys go. $11 is worth it. 9 for difficulty.
4 for fun.
4 for fun. Kevin, what were you gonna say?
I actually just there was one way the secret dungeons, like the little hidden dungeons they could have redeemed, is if you would have been able to find a permanent item that highlighted them for you.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like,
Or something where once you fell in it once, it would mark it.
yeah.
Or
See, something like that where, and then it's so that way you have a progression thing then for marking them.
Or-
that would have actually redeemed them
or
being
even
hidden.
not even. You could keep them hidden. Just when you are in the dungeon, at some point you could find an item where it's the map, and it'll show you the map of the dungeon.
I'm talking about marking them on the
No.
overworld.
I understand that, but it's like I wouldn't care because I would remember as a kid, like, okay, I gotta stay away from this area because that's where I'm gonna fall into that dungeon. But it's like if you go into a dungeon, if you know what the map is and you get to keep that item, you get to keep the map. Once you actually locate it in that dungeon, then it's like, oh, okay, well, at least I know where I have to go.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't care
see
that I
that.
fell into a dungeon because I'll just find my way out.
Yeah, little touches like that I think
it's
might
more of an
redeem the game a
inconvenience
little
at that
bit more.
point.
Yeah, not having a map in a game like this is
Oh, it makes it
detrimental.
impossible. Makes it impossible.
Yeah.
Hence
Sorry,
why we got under. No, you're right.
That
Yeah.
thing, it was one of those things where like it just kind of popped in my head of like,
Yeah.
oh, this is an item they could have had in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%.
Yep.
And it would have made it much better.
yeah,
We probably would have bumped it up to the 5 to be honest.
have like a necklace equipment item slot, and it would have
Yeah,
it would have been great.
I would have bumped it up to a 5 if that was the case. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because then I would have loved the game as a kid. Because then at that point you have something to strive for.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So there you guys go. That's Deadly Towers.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it. That is it. So hit us up on Facebook.
Hit us up on Twitter.
Check out PowerTripGaming.tv. It'll take you right to our channel where you can watch all of our other playthroughs from the NES library.
And if you don't want to watch us play these old fogey games, watch us play some of our side quest material where we play other things like Visage and PS2 and Dreamcast and whatever the hell else tickles
PlayStation
our
1,
fancy. Yeah.
anything. Yes, and if you want to check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify, you can listen to our podcast, the PTG Powercast, where we talk about everything and anything.
That's right. And if you don't feel like contacting us on social media, you can always shoot us an email at nespowertrip@gmail.com.
Well, that'll do it. So,
That's it, baby.
next time on Power Trip.
We will play something better. Nice job, dude. Glad you liked it.
I did.
It grew on me. Wasn't a big fan at first, but then once you get the power-ups, it was good.
And we got our thumbnail. You're the big Papa King. I'm the little prince.
I think I actually used that as the thumbnail.
Oh, did you really?
I think so. Only it's not them looking at each other. I think it was when they were grumpy.